Great, guys. Well, I think we can get started here. Super excited to have you guys on, joining this Injective Hackathon panel, ecosystem initiatives. Again, this space is recorded, so with the purpose of many of our hackathon builders being able to come back and listen to leading industry experts. And we're super lucky to have both Lawrence and Tim's with us today. Both Kraken and Kucoin, who they're a part of, have joined the Injective Ecosystem Venture Group. It's a major $150 million initiative to further accelerate developer adoption of the only lightning-fast blockchain optimized for financial applications. The venture consortium is also the largest assembled within the broader Cosmos community. To kick things off, would be great if you guys could give a brief background on yourself, your focus, and maybe a little bit more about both Kraken and KuCoin do. Lawrence, would love to kind of hand it off to you to start.
Yeah, fantastic. Great to be here. My name is Lawrence. I'm leading Kraken Ventures in Europe. I'm a partner there. We're a $70 million fund focused on early stage infrastructure within crypto and fintech. We're affiliated with Kraken, but we're independent in a sense that we're sort of best of both worlds between the corporate venture arm and a fully independent fund. So yeah, excited to be here.
Hello everyone. Glad to be here. This is Tim, and I come from Kucoin Ventures. And Kucoin Ventures is backed by the Kucoin Exchange, and we have three small groups in our venture side. Maybe you are very familiar with Kucoin Labs and also Kucoin Ventures. We have three. One of the small group is responsible for the strategic investment, which is focused on the compliance and also looking for some lessons for the regulation. And another is the Kucoin Labs. Maybe you are very familiar with. They are responsible for the incubation side, which will give the projects more operational support. And for me, I'm responsible for the token investment. And my group's role is very, very similar to the general token fund, just the funding and invest the projects with great potential.
Awesome stuff, guys, and great introductions there. Now let's dive into the initiative itself. What is the primary goal of the venture group, and what type of projects are you guys looking to back? More specifically, when you guys kind of take a look at investments, specifically within the Cosmos and Injective ecosystems, what stuff stands out to you most? Would love to kick it over to either of you to start.
Yeah, happy to kick it off. So I think with Kraken Ventures, we're very excited about the Cosmos ecosystem and Injective ecosystem specifically. We're excited about interoperability, and we do feel Cosmos has sort of really been at the forefront from its beginning, from its start there. So the purpose of the Injective Ecosystem Fund is really to sort of put hands together, right? Like I think especially now during a crypto bear market, we need to come together and help each other, and sort of like bring the community together, make sure that we focus on sort of what's necessary to bring the next billion of users, be it both retail as well as institutional, into crypto. And I think we can only do that by working together. So I think when Mirza initially sort of introduced me to the idea of joining this group, I was immediately all aboard. I think the purpose here is to make sure that we help each other in terms of research, sharing deal flow, and then of course put money where our mouths are, and actually give funding to those projects that we are excited by.
I think the projects we are looking for in Cosmos ecosystem is like stablecoin. Yeah, because we in the beginning of this year we just decided we will focus on two ecosystems. One ecosystem is the layer 2, the Ethereum layer 2, and another is the Cosmos. Because of we think the next killer application will be happened in the Cosmos ecosystem because of the interchain security and also the interchain account. I see maybe in the first quarter of this year, they already integrated the interchain account and also the interchain security functions in the Cosmos, in the whole Cosmos ecosystem. We think these two functions will bring a lot of new users and also new applications in the Cosmos ecosystem. And for the project size, we are looking for several topics. One of the topics is the leverage tokens, like the algorithm stablecoins, and also the Bravery platform. Because you see the Luna for the last circle is the Luna, maybe the dominant project in the Cosmos ecosystem. But after the collapse of the Luna, we still think the Cosmos ecosystem should also have another stablecoin ecosystem. This is what we are bullish in. And also we are looking for some projects which we think we call this paradigm innovation related projects. Like you can see the GMX, which is a very innovative projects in the layer 2 I think on the Polygon, right? And also we are looking for some other new ecosystem like the Bitcoin related projects, because we think maybe in the next few quarters or next few decades, because of the block rewards of Bitcoin will be much fewer. So the Bitcoin miner do not have so many block rewards from the Bitcoin mining rewards. So the Bitcoin ecosystem must increase the usage of the layer 2 or Lightning Network so that the Bitcoin miner can get the transaction fee from the Bitcoin ecosystem, so that they can develop themselves very well. This is why we're also looking for some new projects on the Bitcoin layer 2 and Bitcoin related DeFi and NFT.
Nice, guys. Both Lawrence and Tim, thanks for giving such, in-depth answers there. And it sounds like, for a lot of our listeners, you can take a lot of inspiration from a lot of things they said. And kind of jumping down that same rabbit hole, Injective is a blockchain optimized for finance-based applications. Of course, there's a great deal of activity across, DeFi across all chains as it currently stands. But what exactly are you guys seeing as the major trends? And I know, Tim, you touched on a lot of it but within the sector at the moment, what do you see as being the major themes bringing us into 2023? Maybe even outside of, some of the things you just noted, Tim.
Yeah. Okay. I think for the DeFi, to be honest, we are looking for some DeFi projects on the all layer 1 chains or layer 2 chains, but not so many innovations in this area recently. I'm looking for the Uniswap V4, but I think no one knows about this kind of things, because last month the Uniswap V3 just released the code publicly, and you can see, and all the people maybe in the investor side and also in the user side, they are looking for whether there will be some innovative things in the decentralized exchange. But to be honest, maybe after this AMA, we can talk more about Uniswap V4, because I really want to know what is the innovation thing in the Uniswap V4. And also, if you want to, because of not so many in innovation in the DeFi area, I think if you want to develop a DEX or if you want to develop a lending platform, it's very difficult to compete with top players like the Uniswap and also the RV and also the Injective. So what I'm thinking about, where is the opportunity exist? I think if you want to develop some projects, you can do something related to the top projects. For example, we already have the Uniswap V3. If you develop another Uniswap V3 in other chains, maybe it won't get a lot of users. But you can do some relative projects that related to the Uniswap V3, I see one project in the Injective and also one project in the Ether ecosystem called Gamma strategy, and also the White Whale, because these two projects are doing some not White Whale but the Project X, they are doing some automated market maker strategy in the related to the concentrated liquidity provider. So I think the opportunity for DeFi area is you must, if you are a co-founder of some projects, you must develop some projects that related to the top projects. This is the direction, I think.
Yeah, I agree with Tim that over the past sort of 12 months, we've also from the Kraken Ventures side seen a bit less sort of truly new sort of innovations in DeFi. I think sort of the opportunity, given sort of lower liquidity in the markets, that we see primarily now is basically bridging the liquidity that there is, right? And so I think that's also part of the reason why I get so excited by the Cosmos ecosystem, and Injective really being focused on a specific application or vertical. Like Injective is really focusing on sort of tailoring to the finance world. I think by during this bear market, what does it mean, right? Like sort of like less interest from investors, less liquidity. It means to me that you need to bridge more, and so it makes us very interested in multi-chain, like interchain communication protocols. So we invested in Hyperlane. Hyperlane is not sort of natively focused on Cosmos, but they are very excited by Cosmos, and so they're sort of almost extending IBC to chains where IBC can't connect, like chains without fast finality or light client verification, so basically not the Tendermint chains. And so Strangelove is really working, for example, now on a Cosmos SDK module for Hyperlane, such that it could connect and support any Cosmos IBC chain and help it communicate with non-IBC chains. Another example in a similar vein is Polymer, right? So I'm like a big fan of Polymer as well. We're not invested there, but really like the team behind that project. Another trend or something that we're excited by is, like, again, because of the low liquidity now during the bear market, we see some projects trying to share liquidity, right? And so we're very excited by Valantis, for example, which is a new paradigm to share liquidity across AMMs, across DEXs, to basically become more capital efficient when launching a new DEX. That's something that we're very excited by as well.
Good stuff, guys. Awesome. And then kind of the market we're looking at now is obviously a very, very different one from the one that, you guys were taking a look at in early 2022. What do you guys think that, has changed around your investment strategies, your firm's investment strategies when it comes to looking at different venture initiatives this year, and especially as we look into 2023? Would be excited to kind of hear and see your guys' outlook. Have things changed radically? Are they kind of back to the same? And kind of where do things stand in the VC world today?
Yeah, happy to go first here. Like, I think for us, not a lot has changed, honestly. I think we continue to be deploying at an active pace. We've continued to do that, throughout bull as well as bear markets. And I think the biggest difference we see, and like, unfortunately, I feel, is for founders, right? And I think it is just more difficult currently to find funding, but it's almost sort of a good thing in a way for the entire space. I feel. I mean, I'm trying to stay positive here, in a sense that only the true sort of builders that are thinking about true innovation are raising their first rounds right now in sort of the midst of this bear market. And so I personally feel, I mean, we're a globally distributed team. We're a small team of 7 spread across US, Europe, and Asia, right? So we always have to deal with a lot of deal flow in any case. But I feel like the average sort of level of the founding teams that I see is actually much higher than during the bull run, where maybe there were some opportunistic founders that are maybe not truly crypto native, sort of coming to play and pitching to you, right? I think now a lot of tier 1 founders are grouping together instead of like building separate from each other, and building these really star teams to build for that next bull run. And so very excited about the projects we're seeing, and also the valuations are slightly lower, so I guess slightly more attractive to some VCs like ourselves.
I think compared with last year, I think for all the VCs, if you think about the financial return, the best strategy for you is do not to invest. Yeah, because if you can see the valuation of the last year, especially for the Q1 and Q2, you can see the valuation of all the projects are very, very high. And if you can check the database to see the valuation of the projects in the maybe quarter 4, or also recently, you can see the valuation maybe 50% of the discount compared with last year. So compared with last year, our strategy, especially for the token investment side, we will increase our frequency of the investment, because you can see because last month I went to Hong Kong and also went to the US. I negotiate with a lot of investors. They are very, very concerned about the market conditions, so they refuse to invest a lot this year. But for our Kucoin Ventures, we predict that the market maybe will be back maybe from the next year. So this year is the best opportunity for all of the, I think, crypto ventures or crypto investors to invest both in primary market and also secondary market. You can also consider, because if you invest, you also consider a lot of conditions, like the unlock conditions and also the click conditions. Because if you invest now, maybe we can calculate after 6 months or after 1 year, you can get your tokens back. So from the perspective of the financial return investment, it's the best time to invest now. And also you can see a lot of deals, especially for the good deals, because of not so many investors want to invest recently. So it's maybe not difficult for us or for the primary market investors to get the deals from the market. So I think to summarize, so this year all the people in the cryptocurrency, they should consider which areas should they invest a lot and how to invest, because a lot of people because of the AI, a lot of people, they think maybe the AI can be the next big thing of the market. But to be honest, I also bullish on the AI related areas, but I'm still considering how the AI can combine with the cryptocurrency. And if you do the AI project in the cryptocurrency world, how you can make your token economics combined with the AI. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, you guys are really dropping some alpha for our listeners today. Great points all across, and kind of jumping to another angle that you guys previously touched on, and that is interoperability. The major component of this venture group is to further promote interoperable solutions and Cosmos adoption more generally. What are some of the areas in particular that you guys have been seeing, a ton of innovation? I know previously, I think on the call, Lawrence, you mentioned Hyperlane and Strangelove, as well as Tim, I believe, may have mentioned shared liquidity across dexes and sexes, and very similar to the synergies of the central limit order book that Injective currently offers for all of its hackathon builders and builders more generally. Would love to understand kind of the biggest sectors and specific pieces of interoperable solutions you guys are looking at when making your next deployments.
Yeah, I think beyond sort of what I shared before, what I can say is that we're in general always looking for projects that are solving real problems, right? And I know it's sort of obvious when I say that, but especially during a bull run, there are quite a lot of founding teams sort of almost inventing problems and then solving those, right? So one very concrete problem that we've seen, for example, is cross-chain collateral management, right? So how do you imagine you have some some token on one chain? How do you use that to lend or borrow on another chain? And so this is like just one example, right? But we invested in a modular credit layer that really enables this omni-chain cross margin for DeFi applications. It's called Concordia. It's very early days, right? So they're still sort of in the first few months of development, but they're definitely looking at multiple chains, including Cosmos, on their roadmap, and we get very excited by them because they're really starting from that concrete sort of use case that they're trying to solve. And we're seeing many projects, especially sort of originating from the Cosmos ecosystem, trying to solve problems and trying to sort of look more omni-chain, look more at interoperability, because Cosmos is its idea. It's like the sort of whole idea behind this chain is interoperability, right? So like the builders that are in this ecosystem are really sort of starting from that premise. So that's what we're really excited by.
I think this year we saw a great progress in the Cosmos ecosystem. So we will pay attention to the projects that related to the interchain account, because interchain account means that you can use the interchain liquidity for all the layer one chains or other application chains in the Cosmos ecosystem. Just now, Lawrence also mentioned about the shared liquidity. I think this is the best specifications functions in the Cosmos ecosystem. So we will pay attention to these kind of things. And also another thing is the interchain security I mentioned before. Because after the integration of the interchain security, all the small chains, they don't need to care about the security issues. They can just focus on their functions, their projects, and they can get the shared liquidity from the central. I think from the mother hub. And also we the third thing we pay attention to is the infrastructure, or is some projects who can bring the Ethereum ecosystem to the Cosmos ecosystem. I think last year one project called EVMOS. This project trying to bring the either developers and also either users, Ethereum users to the Cosmos ecosystem. But because of the safety issues of the bridge or some other issues, the conditions are not so well. Last week, I talked with the Iris Network, the co-founder of the Iris Network. They're also trying to do some things and also trying to do some Ethereum compatible things in the Cosmos eco. I think after they finished this kind of things, they will bring a lot of users and also assets from the Ethereum network to the Cosmos ecosystem. This will be very, very benefit from for the Cosmos ecosystem. I think these three things we'll pay attention to, and very, very glad to see if there are some co-founders, they are building some things related to these three topics.
Nice. Yeah, no doubt. And great alpha. I mean, and great, context for all of our hackathon builders. I think you're giving them quite a bit of great info to continue building the protocols that they'll all be submitting for this awesome Injective upcoming hackathon later next week. And kind of jumping into the next question, and it's specifically as you guys represent both Kraken and Kucoin, and on the venture side, and was super awesome to see that just recently the Kraken exchange integrated Injective mainnet. And now, Kraken is one of the only exchanges to support Injective and kind of the Cosmos ecosystem. I would love to understand from your venture, from the venture initiative in connection to the traditional exchange business, kind of, what is the more so ethos of how those two things are connected and they build off of each other, and again was super glad to see that Kraken integrated kind of Injective and more generally a native Cosmos ecosystem.
Sorry, Cooper. What's the question exactly?
Yeah, so the question exactly would be kind of how does your specific venture business relate to the traditional business of the exchange, and kind of what synergies do they share in terms of some of the deployments you're making, and how they can be supported with the traditional exchange experience that you guys have, leveraging such a great and successful business on the centralized exchange side of things.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, we're super closely collaborating with Kraken, right? And it's an amazing partner for us. We we get a lot of deal flow from them. They give us a lot of insights on sort of what they're looking at on. Okay, sorry. Hello?
Yeah. Hey.
Sorry. Yeah, I just got an error on my phone. There's like a few points where we have to be sort of careful, where we have like sort of Chinese walls, right? On, for example, token listings, etc. It's important that we don't necessarily automatically assume that any token project that we invest in would automatically sort of get a listing on the Kraken exchange. So we're very, very careful to sort of completely stay clear of that. But there's so many other elements where we can sort of support portfolio companies within our portfolio by linking them to other teams on the Kraken side, be it on the product side, on BD, on corporate development, marketing, etc. And so Kraken sort of also learns a lot from us as sort of this venture team that is out there, that is seeing like hundreds of projects a month, seeing sort of where developers are thinking, what developers are thinking about, and what this could indicate for the market, right? Because typically these hackathons like the one that Injective is doing sort of are an indication of where the market will be trending towards in the next 6 to 12 to maybe 18 months from now. And it's super valuable for a really big company that Kraken has become over these past 10 years, to keep an eye out on where that innovation will be.
No doubt. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, I think I see a tendency between the decentralized world and also the centralized world. You can see from the beginning of this year, you can see the trading volume in the decentralized exchange is increasing a lot compared with other period. So I can also see that in some centralized exchange, they are trying to develop their own wallet. For example, Kucoin also developed our Kucoin wallet, which we want to do is to combine the decentralized world to the centralized world to make the user experience much more flexible. They can use the account in Kucoin, not only do the trading in the centralized exchange, but also can have some assets or trading some assets in the decentralized world. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe after this AMA, we can confirm whether the Kucoin's wallet have already integrated with Injective chain. I'm not sure. Sorry. And another thing I want to say is that I also see a lot of layer one DeFi chain or DEX or decentralized exchange platform. They also want to do the launchpad like IEO in their launchpad in their platform. And also, that in the centralized exchange, one of the killer function is the launchpad. So maybe in the next few quarters or later, we can co work to do the launchpad together. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, no, thanks for jumping into that. Jumping into another question, kind of specific to the VC side. What specific qualities do you guys look for in a project's team and founders when considering investment? I think it was Lawrence that just made a great note previously on the previous bull run. Attracting a lot of non-crypto native founders that were kind of around, picking off the top of the fluff. Would love to understand what you guys look for in a team and founders.
Yeah, I think, what I ultimately look for is in founders is just people that are extremely relentless in the pursuit of solving a big problem in a big market, right? And so typically this means that they have some experience with that problem, or there's for some reason sort of a unique advantage for them to be solving this problem, and they're like extremely sort of focused on that. It doesn't necessarily need to mean that they're serial entrepreneurs, right? Like a lot of VCs make their lives easy by just saying like, look, we only invest in serial entrepreneurs or companies that are sort of already getting some traction. That's the sort of lazy approach, right? And I think especially given there's so much technical development that needs to happen within crypto infrastructure, in early stages in the building phase, and then sometimes suddenly they sort of mushroom both in adoption but also in valuations. I think within crypto, if you're like an early stage crypto investor, you need to look for other qualities, right? And so I think, the sort of relentless pursuit and ambition is definitely like the hungriness. That's something I need to see in a founder before I get excited.
I think from my perspective, the first thing is the innovative ability. because recently I haven't seen a lot of project with with innovative things. What they do is only the country C and the country V. So I just want to find some co-founders who have the innovative ability to find some true thing that can bring the new narratives or new mass adoption in this in the crypto industry. And the second thing I think is I prefer to find a co-founder who has the experience in crypto, or especially maybe in his team, if he has 10 team members in his team, at least 50%, I think at least 50% of the team members should be crypto native, because only crypto native people can find the true demand in this area. Because I see a lot of co-founders who is very new to the crypto. He's trying to find some or to trying to develop some projects to solve the problems in this area. But his solutions to the project, his solutions to the problems is not the right direction. This is not so good for the co-founder because maybe several quarters later, all the team members will pay for the wrong direction. And the third thing I think is the co-founder's relationship to the other protocols. For example, if you want to do a DeFi protocol like DEX or lending protocol, you must have collaborations with other DeFi like the market maker or other or exchange side or other side. So you must have the relationship with other protocols. If you only focus on your protocol and do not integrate it with other protocols, your protocols will not develop very well. I think this is the reason why the Injective want to do the hackathon and want to involve a lot of co-founders or other protocols here.
Yes, without a doubt, Tim, and great point again. We're very excited about all the incredible builders that we've brought together, forming teams within this hackathon, in addition to coming with already pre-made teams as well. And it's great to have both kind of, the traditional finance and business sides, as well as the crypto native developers, who can really string together the CosmWasm smart contracts and all that type of stuff. So jumping into our next question, how do you guys evaluate long-term sustainability of a project, specifically around kind of tokenomics and playing in the context of the Cosmos ecosystem? I think you touched on some of these things previously, but would love to jump here, a bit more in terms of long-term sustainability around a project, and how that has to play with tokenomics.
Yeah, feel free to go first, Tim. Let's switch it up.
Any thoughts, Tim? Just generally speaking around kind of, tokenomics that you look for when deploying, as well as, what makes up a sustainable project that won't burn out in just a couple of months or a couple of years.
Okay, I think the first thing for the project is whether there has a demand for the service the project provided. Because a lot of projects, especially for some GameFi or some other projects, the demand only comes from the bull market. Even if we come to the bear market, the demand will disappear, and also the project will disappear. So we are trying to find some infrastructure, some project which is the infrastructure for the specific sector. For example, the Injective is I think it's a defined chain, and which is very is an infrastructure for the Cosmos for the defined chain. And also I'm not sure the a lot the star guys in the NFT area. You can see my Twitter avatar is also the star guys NFT. So I think, and also maybe it's a Kepler. Kepler wallet. Kepler is a wallet infrastructure in the wallet area in the Cosmos ecosystem. And also I think the first mover advantage project will have the long-term sustainability, because if you are the first mover, like you are the lending platform, or you are the decentralized exchange in the Cosmos ecosystem or in other ecosystem, the other project, if you are the first mover, and maybe several quarters later other projects want to develop the same thing with you, they cannot maybe somehow compete with you. And another thing I want to say is if you are the creator of some concepts or technology, because I negotiate with Celestia, this kind of project. The co-founder of this project is a co-founder is a creator of the modular blockchain. And because in this area or in the crypto market, only you can develop this kind of stuff. So you have the long-term sustainability, and you can do the fundraising very successfully. And also, the last thing I want to say is the internet effect. If you develop some projects have the internet effect, you will be the winner for the crypto. Like for example, you are the internet effect of the lending platform. Like if you are already the top one or top two lending platform, no other lending platform can challenge you, especially for the mature business model. Yeah, I think this is my answer. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Tim made some great points here. I think, maybe taking a small step back, like evaluating the long-term sustainability of a project is all about sort of making sure that incentives are properly aligned, right? And so I think within, the difference within crypto versus maybe sort of more the traditional world is that there's also the community aspect that you need to think about. So tokens can be extremely valuable as a tool to make sure that a project endures and keeps their customers, the community alive. But it has to be, the tokenomics have to add up, right? The tokenomics have to sort of be designed in a smart fashion. And I think, maybe, maybe unfortunately for some project out there, they've designed their tokenomics to sort of optimize for a big bang TGE, a big bang sort of start, but then a long, slow scissor, right? So I think the most sustainable DeFi projects are properly incentivizing the right users. So not just sort of the ones that are passing through, the ones that are just there for the party and then just look for the next party, right? But actually properly incentivizing the people that are trying to use that specific DeFi application, and will actually be interested in using that application for a long time. And I think during a bear market, and again, maybe I'm biased based on the projects I've been seeing, but during a bear market, people are also a bit more realistic around, okay, does my project actually need a token, right? Because we're obviously within Cosmos and within the Injective ecosystem, you're talking specifically about DeFi projects. Obviously, they need tokens. They're like fully decentralized, and then token makes a lot of sense. But a lot of blockchain crypto infrastructure does not need to be decentralized, right? And so during a bull run, these projects would just sort of add a token on top of a centralized project and then invent some utility for that token and dump it on retail. that unfortunately, only creates more incentives for regulators and the overall sort of mass retail markets to dislike crypto, right? So I think what I do like about this bear market is that people are one, being a bit more thoughtful about, do we need a token, and two, if we need a token, how do we actually design this in a much more sustainable fashion, and how can we incentivize the right users for the long run.
Awesome points there, guys, and really appreciate all the great points that you're giving to a lot of our hackathon participants. As we wrap up here, I would love to kind of allow this time for you guys to give closing thoughts surrounding what you guys would give advice on both the business and personal level for Injective hackathon participants seeking to fundraise for their projects. We have several huge projects coming up to demo day the end of next week, which will be participating and looking to win prizes through the Injective Hackathon, but then additionally through the Venture Ecosystem Initiative. Would love to understand kind of what kind of specific advice you guys could have for these projects. And from there would also allow this to be great kind of closing thoughts from you all. Would love to kick it back to Tim to start as well.
Okay, I think I can ask I can answer your question firstly. For the fundraising side, I think all the co-founders don't need to ask for the investment so quickly. Before you ask for the fundraising, the first thing you should do is to use some database to find which kind of investors are still active recently, because you can see a lot of investors, especially after the bear market of last year, a lot of investors, they are not so active in the market this year. So first you should use some database to see the active investors, and then you can do the connections with this kind of investors. This will make your fundraising progress much smoother. And the second thing is, let me think. You should find some VCs which can give you resources, like listing resources, or they can be your node operators. And the last thing I want to say is, you are the co-founder of some projects. You must think that community is the first thing you should develop, and the VC is the second thing. So before you want to fund the VC, you should get your community firstly. And if you get the community members, you can get the markets. And because if you after this, if you want to fund the VC, all the VCs will also see whether your project is accepted by the community or not. So please remember community first. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I would totally agree with Tim on that last point. I think first build value, right? And value could be a community, could be an MVP, could be something like, it could be surrounding yourself with the right founding team, but also with the right partners. I think Tim mentioned before as well, like you shouldn't build in isolation, right? The crypto community like needs to stick together, especially now during a bear market. And I think we need to build on, like, we need to sort of stand on giants. We shouldn't sort of like just build what other people have built. Like, we should sort of build on top of that, especially now during a bear market. And interestingly, during this bear market, let's not forget, right? Like, the number of developers continues to grow super fast. Even during 2022, which was probably not the best year for crypto. the amount of full-time developers in Cosmos actually doubled. So while liquidity is low, the amount of people you can partner up with to build that next wave of innovation is only growing. And so I think it's super exciting times for people that are serious about building that next wave of infrastructure. And I think my advice would be, don't focus too much on getting as much money. Like when you're specifically my advice for fundraising, right? Like don't focus too much on getting as much money as possible. Like Tim said, try to find the right investors, especially in your first pre-seed round. It could be a small angel round, but a small angel round with the right angels that are sort of opening doors, that are tying you to those giants that you can build on top of, and find and develop that community further. I think will open so many doors for your seed round, maybe with larger VCs. Also, really indeed, to Tim's point, try to partner up with people that can actually provide value to you too, and sort of be very concrete about that. That I think like would be my number one advice now.
Awesome stuff and awesome advice from both Lawrence and Tim here. I know we're already about 12 minutes over time here, and I really want to, end here by thanking both Tim and Lawrence for, being able to drop all this incredible advice for our entire, hackathon community, as well as Injective community more generally. Several builders out there are looking to, get funding, and clearly, as we can, tell from today's AMA today, there's still a ton of possibility out there if you're building for the right, solutions and solving the right problems. So as we wrap up here today, I want to say thank you again from the entire Injective community to both Kraken, Kucoin Ventures, and Tim and Lawrence for being here. This has been probably my favorite space I've been a part of over the past couple of weeks, during this hackathon. And again, want to give you all of our thanks. And with that, we'll wrap up and look forward to staying in touch soon. We'll shoot over all of the winning hackathon projects over to you guys to take a look at, which I know will be exciting. And as the Injective ecosystem continues to expand, very lucky to have you guys as a part of that growth. So again, thanks, and looking forward to staying in touch soon. Have a good one, guys.